Good morning, everyone. Let's call court to order. Is there a motion to accept this report for recording purposes?
So moved. Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Yeah, back when I met everybody. Yes. That's when we met every Tuesday, yeah.
All right, good morning, everyone. Call court to order. Today is Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. It's 9 a.m. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Thursday, May 30th, 2024 at 3:45 p.m. And an emergency supplemental agenda was posted on Monday, June 3rd, 2024 at 8:25 a.m.
Thank you. This time, let's stand brief for a moment of silence. I do want folks to please remember the family of the young man that lost his life in the flooding over in the Crawford McGregor area today. Actually, it happened last week, but
Please join the pledge.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. All right. If there's anyone here from the public that wants to speak to the court on business matters, please do so at this time. All right. Seeing none, under proclamations and resolutions, this morning we have a proclamation declaring June as Elder Abuse Prevention Awareness Month. And so if I could, I'd like to ask Dustin Chapman, County Administrator, read this into the record.
Yes, sir. This is a proclamation of the McLennan County Commissioners Court declaring June as Elder Abuse Prevention Awareness Month. Whereas people who are elderly or have disabilities have contributed to the general welfare of McLennan County by helping to preserve customs, convictions, and traditions of many people from diverse backgrounds. And whereas these residents are vital and integral members of our society, and their wisdom and experience have enriched our lives. And whereas abuse of the elderly and people with disabilities in domestic and institutional settings is a widespread problem, affecting hundreds of thousands of people across the country. And whereas Texas APS in-home caseworkers in McLennan County have investigated 970 intakes, of which 393 cases of abuse, neglect, and/or exploitation were confirmed against our elderly Texans or those with disabilities in 2022. Whereas elder abuse is grossly underreported because the elderly who are being abused find it very difficult to tell anyone and are usually ashamed and sometimes afraid. And whereas elder abuse happens to men and women of all income levels, all cultural and ethnic groups, whether they are in good health or incapacitated in some way, in poor neighborhoods and in suburbia. And whereas many of the cases investigated by Adult Protective Services in Texas involve self-neglect, and it is our duty as citizens to reach out to people in need. Therefore, be it proclaimed, the McLennan County Commissioners Court declares the month of June 2024 as Elder Abuse Prevention Month in McLennan County and urges all citizens to work together to help reduce abuse and neglect of people who are elderly or have disabilities. Be it further proclaimed, a copy of this proclamation be made a permanent part of the minutes of the Commissioners Court. Judge?
All right, thank you. I would make a motion, we approve this proclamation. Second. I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. All right, now that we have more room back here than we used to, I would ask, I think, Erica Mendoza and, Jameen Fletcher are here. Is that right?
Jasmine.
Oh, sorry about that. Starts with a J. And anyone else that you want to bring back, come on back here and we'll,
Introduce who else is with you.
James Romero, he's an actual investigator.
all right. Why don't y'all come around here? I'd like, if one of you want to, make a few statements, well, please feel free to do so.
Curiosity, what's considered
We'll get some-
elder? What age?
65 and older, or 18 to 64 with a severe disability.
Come on around this way.
Got enough.
James, how you doing?
James Romero. James Ben Perry, how are you today? Doing all right, doing all right. Pleasure.
How
How are you today?
Pleasure. Smith.
Yes.
Okay. So if y'all would just line up, like, right across here. Now, who's gonna take the picture? Well,
I have my phone right over
okay. And, I'll squeeze in here. Let's see, let me get this.
There you go.
There you go. So who wants to hold it?
No, can we move the chair? Either judge can sit in the chair or we can move it out of the way.
Okay. It'd be elder abuse, wouldn't
Highly qualified.
it? All right, anyone want to say anything?
A couple of words, whether it's in here or just.
Yeah, you just stand right there.
All right, well, we appreciate you having us out and declaring this month as Elder Abuse Month, so I appreciate that. Well, good morning, Judge Scott Fulton and Commissioners. First, to thank you for proclaiming June as Elder Abuse Awareness Month for the McLennan County. The U.S. Census Bureau has pegged 2034 as the first time in U.S. history that older adults 65 and older will outnumber younger people. This fast-growing population is expected to strongly impact our families and communities. Older adults are vital, contributing members of our society, and everyone deserves the right to live free from abuse. National research has shown as many as 1 in 10 older Americans are abused or neglected each year, and for every case known to programs and agencies, 24 are unknown. The APS program will remain focused on raising awareness of elder abuse. On behalf of our program, I would like to thank all of the first responders and all of our judicial partners for their continued support in helping APS carry out their mission, which is to protect older adults and people with disabilities. It is through collaboration that we are forming public and private partnerships to identify where stronger supports are needed and where existing connections must be reinforced as an essential first step towards defending our community against elder abuse. Just in case you did not know, to report neglect, abuse, financial exploitation, our hotline is 800-252-5400, or you can do it online, www.txabusehotline.org. Again, we'd like to thank you for making this month Elder Abuse Month, and with any of your support, continued support, we will do our best to protect our elder citizens. Thank you.
Thank you. So appreciate all the work and effort that the organization does, and also to engage private business to watch for this, banking especially. And I know my background's banking, and we did a lot of training on it and saw a lot of it. And what we saw back then is just a small amount of what we're seeing now, and what I'm hearing through the courts here as well. But also used to, there was not that much online abuse and things that were going on, and now it's just flooding, and everybody gets especially calls that, you know, your Medicare number, your those, you know, trying to get private information from people that you've never seen before. But a lot of it's family that does it, but now we've got a whole different society that's out there preying on these people. So appreciate the awareness that y'all bring. And if there's anything that the Commissioners Court can ever do for y'all, please let us know.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you. Okay. So under the consent agenda, the recommended pulls are E3A, E3B, E4A, and E8A. Are there any additional pulls recommended? If not, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of those pulls previously mentioned?
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass. All right, so under E3A, no action needed on that one at this time, which is precinct 2 vacancy. Under E3B is department head evaluations. And so Anna, if you want to come forward on that one. And while she's preparing, I do want to go to the emergency declaration. So Dustin, if you would kind of explain the reason why we need to take further action on that.
Yes, sir. So Judge, your initial disaster declaration that was extended by the court, it needs to be extended. And so that's just the action on this would be to extend that disaster declaration through July 30th.
Okay. Any questions on that? And as you know, a 1-inch rain could cause, we'd be back in the same flooding problems that we had before. So the lakes are trying to release as fast as they can yet, and to keep things safe in doing so. And they've made a lot of progress, but it wouldn't take much to get us back in the same shape we've been in. So I would make a motion, we approve that declaration.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass. Okay, Anna?
Yes, sir. Good morning. I just wanted to update the court that we are wrapping up department head evaluations, and we have final scoring in place. And so we are getting ready to deliver that information to department heads now. And in addition to that update, I also wanted to ask the court if they wanted to bring up for consideration the salary request now that the evaluations are wrapped up. The salary request is for the IT director. That position is not at budget, or that salary is not at budget. And there was a request from the IT director to move his salary to the budgeted amount, which is $150,042.
And that evaluation is already done?
Yes, and it's favorable.
And that's when this is the time we've normally done those adjustments, correct?
So the timeline has varied a few months here or there, but it is typically done following an initial evaluation period. So it varies a month here or there following the evaluations. There was one deviation with one department head in 2021, I believe, but outside of that deviation, we've tried to remain consistent, at least having a full evaluation completed before an adjustment is made. And so this would be the evaluation time now.
So would a motion at this time be appropriate, Judge?
Yeah, what's your recommendation?
Now that the evaluation is in place, and we also have the preliminary results from the first part of the salary study completed, which would highlight this position as in line or close to midpoint, I would recommend to move forward.
Dustin, do you have any additional comments or?
No, sir. And Anna, do we need to specify a start date for that?
Yes, we can have it be the effective, the start of the next pay period.
Which would be when?
It's the 9th.
Be-
Yes. The 9th, Sunday.
Yes. So June 9th.
June 9th.
June 9th, yes. Thank you, Francis.
Any other comments before?
Move to approve the recommendation of adjusting the IT director's salary to the recommended amount, which was
Midpoint.
midpoint?
No, it's the budget.
Okay, it's a budget amount,
The budgeted amount. They're
Budgeted
not
amount.
currently at budget. We're moving him to budget.
and that take place on June the 9th.
Yes, sir.
Second?
I have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose, pass.
Thank you.
Thank you, he does a good job. Okay, next is, under E4A, is an ad for the RFP 24-015.
Yes, sir. I started off on the wrong direction with this proposal. I'm having to pull it back and I'm having to rework it. I termed it as a licensed peace officer, and it only needs to be a commissioned security officer.
Okay, so we want to pull with no action.
Right.
All right, we'll pull with no action. Lastly, of the pulled items is, under E8A, this is a plat for, Raby Road. Who's speaking to that?
That's a pull.
Oh, okay, it's pulled with no action. All right. Okay, Dustin, you want to pick it up?
Yes, sir. So moving on to item F, bids, RFPs, RFQs. F1 is authorization of vehicle quote from Caldwell County Chevrolet for Constable Precinct 1. And I don't know if April or Constable Strickland are in court. And if not, there was a total loss on a 2021 Dodge Durango. They would like to purchase a 2023 Chevrolet Silverado as a replacement vehicle. There is a difference between that total loss and the vehicle amount. And so there's a budget amendment that goes along with this. And Francis, I believe we have to do the budget amendment for the full purchase price due to waiting to receive those funds from TAC.
Yes, and it would still need to be for the total cost, but we can certify those proceeds when the check is received. And I actually think the check was received this morning, so we'll get that taken care of. But yes, purchase price is the total $68,446. The budget amendment will be done for the same amount.
Wonder how that's rigged out, anybody?
And then
is that
we've already certified the return, the 42, I mean,
You-
we approved that, didn't we?
You agreed to that offer?
Amount,
Yes, sir.
42,
Yes, sir.
672.17 from TAC.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I thought 25,773 was coming from TAC.
That's what we'll have to pay. Isn't that correct?
Well, you're paying
Right.
the 68,000. It just, if
But
you,
we're gonna
if you
get
take
back
into
if they're
account the
different. Yeah.
offer from the loss, because you bought,
Does the 68,446 include the equipment?
yes, sir.
It
It says
does.
after the added equipment.
Okay. I guess if I just read, I could.
Okay,
Is that all
so once we receive, or we have received the difference is gonna be 25,773.83 that we're gonna have to pay forward.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Where's this coming from? Whose budget?
So their budget amendment is just moving from contingencies in the general fund. Is that right? Yeah. When we have that check in our hands and we certify it, what we'll do is we'll certify it to contingencies as well. So it'll back up the contingencies by the 42,000, but so that difference is what will be coming from.
In the past, have we bought new vehicles like this to replace other ones before,
When,
before the,
and I'm saying this from memory, I know when we have had some vehicles, specifically law enforcement vehicles that have been totaled, I think historically we have been taking those proceeds and then increasing that amount, bulking up that amount from another line item in the budget and purchasing one to replace it. It's probably been done differently over the years, but I know there have been those
It has
instances.
been different.
What caused the fire? Anybody know? Anybody have any idea? Anybody?
Heat.
Heat? Okay,
I don't know.
just curious. I'll find out.
Yeah, because I understand what you're saying. You
Yeah.
understand hail damage after what we've recently been through, and certainly understand accidents.
I think this
We
is
don't see
probably,
this often.
it's probably been a long time coming, because I think the fire happened in the past sometime, but I have no problem with it, Judge. They need the vehicle, and through no fault of their own, the fire totaled the vehicle, and we've agreed to the amount from tax, so we need to replace the vehicle for Precinct 1 Commissioner's Office. So my motion would be to approve the request.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Under item G, contracts and local agreements, G1 is a ratification of a Lexus Plus subscription amendment with LexisNexis for the 19th District Court. This is subscription material for Judge West, and it did have a deadline. We needed to get it approved, so this is ratification of that amendment with LexisNexis.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
G2 is regarding the amendment to the guaranteed maintenance agreement with A&A Technology Group, authorization of quote for renewal of agreement, telecommunications equipment, My Telephone System. John?
Good morning. So this is just our yearly renewal on our voicemail system, our MyTel voicemail system. It's gone up just a little bit from last year, but it's well within the budgeted amount. Has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
All right, any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
G3 is authorization of letter of agreement with McLennan County Community Colleges for extended DISC communication training for information technology. John?
Yes, this item is for some internal training for the team. It's a team building training called a DISC communication training. It's supposed to help us all communicate better and understand each other better here in the IT department. They're quoting for 28 participants, $1,750, and can be completed anytime between July 1st, 2024 and June 30th, 2026. We're planning, of course, to do it within this budget year. So we're anticipating about August, September for this training. And this is in our professional development budget. It has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
So I'm already pretty aware that y'all don't speak English over in that IT department, because I don't understand anything you tell me, but but I'm all for it, John.
Is that a
As
motion?
motion to approve.
Second?
Have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
G4, authorization of agreement with Lone Star Chiller Systems for variable speed fan upgrade for chiller number 4 condenser at the Heart of Texas Fair. TJ?
Yes, good morning, everyone. So you have a quote before you from Lone Star. The VFD actually failed over at Extraco on chiller number 4. So this is one that's pretty important to us. We want to go ahead and get it taken care of. We've reviewed the quote. Everything looks good. We recommend it for approval.
All right, any questions?
I do have a question. Just the acronym game. What's VFD?
Variable fan drive. So it ramps up and down the chiller unit as the process is required.
Any other tough questions?
That was a tough one for me. That was, thank you.
Now we know. All right, I'll make a motion. We approve that.
Second?
Yep, motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Under item H, capital improvement, repair and construction projects, H1 regarding Chapel Road improvements, agreement with Kasparian Underground doing business as H&B Contractors, authorization of application for payment number 3. Zane?
Yes, sir. So this is payment number, invoice and application number 3 for the Chapel Road Improvements Project. The amount is $1,245,254.47. Of that, $237,930.72 is part of the county's roadway improvements. The rest is pertaining to the Waco waterline improvements, part of that project. Their application has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
All right, any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
Under item I, budget amendments, I-1s regarding the FY 24 budget. I-1A is discussion and/or action regarding incentive pay budget and distribution of incentive pay list to eligible offices. On it.
I have here the request to fund the incentive pay program for this fiscal year. We have all departments that are eligible. We have all of their evaluations received, and we ran the numbers of positions that are eligible to participate in the incentive pay plan according to the policy, and that total for all eligible positions for funding would be $594,776, and we had that number checked by the auditor's office as well. Just to note, that's just how many positions are eligible by way of the policy. It does not include those employees who would not be eligible because they have not met their year of employment requirement, and so the actual payout is typically always a lot less than the budgeted amount for the program. Does the court have any questions?
Anna, you might brief the court, and I know we received several communications from different department heads or elected officials regarding how they felt it was a tool. You want to kind of go over that, but also what are the challenges with this? In other words, to effectively use it as a tool.
Okay, so yes, I can provide a summary of the feedback we received. We had a handful of county leaders that were gracious enough to provide very good, thorough feedback on the program, likes and dislikes too that were taken into account. And so we received feedback from our maintenance director, our health services director, our tax assessor, Randy Riggs, our district attorney, Josh Teetons, our jail major, David Ives, as well. And so the feedback overall, they feel like it's an effective tool to motivate employees. I had 2 comments from 2 of the leaders that they would like to see tenure somehow factored into the program to be able to acknowledge employees who've been with the county in service for many years. If there was a way to incorporate that as a
That's for a future plan.
mechanism. Yes, that would be for a future plan. Any changes, any policy changes or changes to the mechanisms of the program would require a year implementation or a budget advance to update because in order to abide by guidelines in issuing merit pay, a policy has to or employees have to be notified of the policy a year in advance. So that would be a future, if the court wanted to continue the program, that would be our next effort in changing or updating the policy.
And then the challenges for you. So we know some department heads or elected officials use it very effectively.
Yes.
And some don't. How do we increase the amount of folks that use that, the leaders or the, department heads or elected officials? How
Sure.
can we drive that to be able to make sure that we're using this money to do what it's supposed to do rather than just be across the board and reward?
Absolutely. As of now, we have 2 departments that could probably have further training on how to use the tool. But overall, the majority of the supervisors are submitting helpful feedback to employees. This is probably the most content we've seen in these evaluations that actually provide guidance to employees. So that was a long, a long journey to get to, the first few years of the program. We could count how many evaluations had helpful feedback for employees. We didn't have full participation. We didn't get evaluations submitted from every office. We probably didn't get full participation until year 3 or 4 of the program, where we had all eligible departments actually submitting evaluations for their
But you
employees.
still don't have full participation. If you-
So they're submitting evaluations, and it's really 2 offices where they could provide better feedback, or feedback in general to employees. And so I think from where we began and where we have evaluations now, great strides have been made. And we have most officials using the tool appropriately. The average score across all the evaluations submitted was a 7.5. We don't have widespread usage of, or widespread issuance of, 10s and 9s like we used to. It's been a lot of progress.
Let me ask one more question. So you've been very diplomatic in talking about all the ones that do it right. What would be, this has not been an easy discussion for the court, and it costs the taxpayer a lot of money. And, it's great to hear that there's improvement and all that. Our goal is for every department to use it as a tool effectively. And so there's got to be almost a negative incentive for those that don't use it right.
And there is. The policy is built with the mechanism for the court to deny a pay list submitted by a department. So in the evaluation, it says any evaluations that are presented to the court that HR has reviewed and deems are not being candid evaluations, they'll be presented to the court, and the court can then decide as to whether or not they participate in the incentive pay program and receive payout. So there is a consequence built into the policy should the court wish to leverage that.
Mr. Smith?
Comments. First of all, I support the incentive pay as has been presented today.
Okay.
As long as there's subjectivity built into it, it's never going to be perfect. That's just bottom line. It also concerns me that there's a mechanism built into it, and I won't use the word punish, but to those departments that didn't do it correctly you're mentioning, what you're really punishing are the employees, because one person didn't do it correctly. And that concerns me somewhat also, the way that's designed. And not now, but between now and next year, I'd like to get with you. It also, a concern of mine is that you and I could both be department heads, and we both have 50 employees, and yours average out an 8, mine average out a 6, just because of the subjectivity and what I think is good. Score is 6, you think a good one is 8. I'm going to give money back, and you're going to keep all your money. I have a little bit of a problem with that. And then the instrument itself, I'd like for us to look at somehow making the instrument a little more simplistic. Maybe we'll get better comments if it doesn't drag on and on and on.
Commissioner, on that 6, you're talking about an average of 6? That's just
And I'll let Anna
Yeah,
address that,
I think I
because
understand.
there's, on that scoring scale that's in our policy, some people think a 6 is a really good score, a department head. But am I correct that there's money returned at a certain point that's not used if your scores aren't at a certain level? for the total number of employees.
Yes, so the budget that each department has is a 2%
2%.
budget that they can allocate
Okay.
as payout for those. And then the payout amount is dictated by these percentages that are outlined in a range depending on what score they have. And so what Commissioner Smith is saying, one department can have an 8 and similar work can be deemed a 6 in another department. And one of them might not, that department who's scoring a 6, who's scoring a little tougher, would have money left on the table. But the amount of funds that are actually left on the table by departments it's a nominal amount.
And I'm sure it is a nominal amount, but it does
Yes,
point to
there's
the disparities
subjectivity.
in grading.
But yet, you still have the opportunity that there's gonna be some in that group that the overall average was a 6, that were good performers over and above, they were, kind of leaders in the department, they did best practices and all that, you could pick those out and they could still be rewarded. You might have a little bit less money on the overall department, but on that individual,
Possibility.
yeah.
I'm just saying it points to the subjectivity of the scoring process
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
That you and I can both view the same employee, and I think because they're doing a above average job, that's a 6, and you think they're doing an above average job and it's an 8.
Yeah.
And because of that, I don't have the total amount to distribute to my department, and you do.
There's two numbers in that 1 from 10 that I would never use, 1 and 10. Never use 1 and 10. I would say those numbers be reserved. First of all, the 1 wouldn't be there to get the reward.
Yeah, I understand.
And the 10, I'm not saying it would be impossible in my mind. Like you're saying, it's an individual decision.
Subjectivity, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you have to leave room for some great thing to happen. And it can happen. I mean, so I'm not saying 10's impossible. I just don't think, I think it cheapens the good performers that are 8s and, 7s, 8s
And we're talking about splitting hairs between the numbers between a 6, a 7, and 8 could be very, very fine. And like I said, some department heads are tremendously satisfied with the job that their employees are doing, think they're doing a great job, and it's a 6.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
others it's an 8. And
Your
so
feedback.
the subjectivity, we're never going to get away from that
Yeah,
subjectivity.
and it could be the philosophy of the manager that gave the 6 is that leaves them a lot of room to improve. They see a future. Now, here's one way that we might be able to accommodate this, is that HR comes into the department, sits down with the elected official department head, goes over the overall staff, and they score them. Because they're gonna have the same philosophy on how the score range on each department, where you and I may be way different. I may think a 6 is great. And you might think of, if they're here at all, they ought to be an 8. And I'm not saying that's what it is, but,
I know.
yeah, but the only way I know would be to have the same.
The only way to do it, to have the same score for, that would just be one person going in and doing it all, which is an impossibility, so. Because that person's not gonna sit in there on a day-to-day basis and see what the employee's doing.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing up some concerns that I have with it, that I don't know that there's a resolution. I think the incentive program is a good program itself. I think it does the right thing for employees.
Yeah. That's fair feedback, and
We're never gonna get to utopia.
no, and you're right about there always being subjectivity, but that's another one of these mechanisms that's built into the policy is this maximum budget of 2%. You only
Yeah.
have
And
2%.
that's one of the reasons I wanted to discuss the instrument with you, because if you've got a large department and you're going through that list over and over and over again. By the time you get to employee number 50, you may not be doing quite what you're doing with, maybe you are with employee number 1. I'm just saying, it's a tough process.
It is.
Anyhow, that's where we are. I'm sorry.
No,
My comments.
y'all have any thoughts?
The only thing I would say is that if we wanted to take the subjectivity out and just give every, maybe give every department, what the proportionate amount, per, and then let them.
That's kind of what we're doing now. Though. We're letting them make the call, and most of them are.
But isn't there like a max range? I'm just thinking about isn't there a max range that a certain number can get and things like that?
So the highest percentage payout that we have on the plan right now is 3%. And so as a I'll give myself as an example. So as a department head, I have this 2% budget to allot. If I have someone scoring, and I'll just share how I approach incentive pay for my own team. So I identify a top performer in my team. That top performer is going to get their max payout that they're eligible for on that scale. I reduce my budget by that amount immediately. And then the remaining amount, I prorate based off of their score.
Yeah, that's kind of
So
what I do.
What I'm hearing you say though is that every
So like if
would get their full amount, and
Yeah.
each department then would determine based on this scale
Yeah.
how it's paid out. And it wouldn't be, I don't necessarily, I know we can't do it today, but going forward. that might be
I
something to
really
look at.
agree with Commissioner Smith that this needs to be simplified to, do they show up, especially for us in Road and Bridge, do they show up, do they do their work, and do they not cause any problems?
And that was similar feedback I got from one of our leaders. In addition to the wanting a factor of tenure, that simplification of the form was also one of the, and a lot of those sub-competencies in there might not fit each position, very well. And it really is more just it's more questions for the supervisor to have them thinking of, is this something that I could actually review for this employee's performance? The subcompetency, because there's a lot of, it's very wordy, and it all serves as guidance and helpful reminders to supervisors. And am I actually looking at this function for these employees? So that's what it serves as. But yes, definitely, that's on our list of feedback notes.
And just streamline it a little bit, because one of them is, does the employee show up to work on time? Well, you give them a 10 because they do, or do you, that's your job. That's what you're supposed to do.
How do you?
Yeah.
Doing their job ought to be.
How do you show up to work on time better?
That's,
5 to 6 is showing up.
right.
And then, coming up with the idea of being a leader. And what it does, this is a one-time payment, so it doesn't, and if you didn't have this, I feel like there would be more effort by department heads and elected officials you gotta reward them some way, so you move the salary up, and that's forever, where the one-time pay is each year they do a good job, each year, so that person that qualifies every year, of course, when they do, they're also gonna set themselves up to be somebody that's promoted as well, as long as they have the certifications and all to do that. So, it's a great tool if it's used properly. And I think all in all, for the taxpayer, it does not cost this amount of money, because you're not driving that salary up all the time.
And productivity, it creates productivity from the employees, which benefits taxpayers.
Yeah.
But no, I'm in favor of it. I'm just agreeing somewhat with them, and that we can find some of these different, what's the word I'm looking for,
The sub-competencies,
Yes,
those little
yes.
sections, yeah.
Which I must have none, because I couldn't think of that right there. But yeah, if we could just streamline a little bit and take things out that, to me, that's your job. You know, you can, like you said, you can't show up any better if you're, so. But anyway, I think it's a great program and I do support it.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Anything else? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll start with
All
this.
right, moving on to I-1B. So Francis, you can take over from there.
We're in good shape now. Yeah. Okay, Francis.
All right, so we'll go over the budget amendments for FY '24, starting with I-1B. This is in Fund 418, our venue project fund. There was a repair that needed to be done on venue property, which would be the base. And so the amount's being requested to move into the repair and maintenance line from contingencies in that fund. I-1C, this is general fund, 19th District Court. They are requesting to move within that department into other services and charges for some work that's being done by Brazos Media. I-1D, this is a certification of revenue and related budget amendment, and this is for the $50,000, which they are calling a tech grant payment. This is from GTL. That vendor came and spoke a couple agendas ago about this amount, and so it was sent to the county, and we have determined that the best place to increase the budget for that amount would be our software line. So this would help pay for the ongoing cost for software, which would include the sheriff's office and the jail. I-1E, this is,
A quick question about
Oh,
that.
yes.
Do y'all have a tech line anywhere? Or is that all
software.
lumped together?
so they,
So just-
each department has a software line. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to speak for you, Cody. But most of the time, software is held in departments. Tyler, we have been lumping it together to keep it all as one, but as more Tyler products come on board, we may try to keep them more centralized in one location, just for administration purposes.
Okay, I just, I wanted this, it's from a jail a contract that's, out of the jail, so for the jail, just,
Yes, so,
that's mine. So-
and that's the line item. It will cover, that Tyler line will help cover ongoing costs for that new gel software.
Perfect.
I'm not using the correct terminology. And I didn't mean to speak over if David wanted to add on to that as well.
Great.
No, that's exactly what the intent of this was. This was from GTL via Path, and this was one-time payment to help cover the costs of that software in implementation or yearly recurring fees, Commissioner. So.
Great.
So then I-1E, this is general fund, countywide professional services. So this is to cover some costs with Mundo and Associates. This is a contract invoices that have been approved already by you on previous agendas. I-1F, this is general fund Constable 2, requesting to move within that department into furniture and equipment in order to purchase a desk for the constable to replace the current desk that he is using.
Will that go through purchasing, Ken? That'll go through you?
Yes.
And you'll handle that?
Yes,
You'll
sir.
handle that?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
good.
I-1G, this is general fund for district attorney. I'm just requesting to move within that department into repair and maintenance to cover some needed costs for this current fiscal year. I-1H, this is Fund 419, our 2019 bond proceeds. This is an increase to the communications tower line. It was for an additional invoice received from Frank Patterson for consulting fees for the month of April. I-1 This is General Fund, Heart of Texas Fairgrounds. This is related to an item you previously approved this morning, item G4. And so this is to cover that cost for the condenser fan repairs out at the fairgrounds. And it is coming from the General Fund contingencies. I1J, this is Fund 421, 2021 bond proceeds. This is a request to increase the line item for the demo work to be done at 415 Columbus. And so this covers both bids for Langerman Engineering as well as Midwest Wrecking. I1K, this is General Fund for the jail. Requesting to move within that department into the line item for motor vehicle operating for costs for the remainder of the year. I1L, this is General Fund, Road and Bridge 2. Requesting to move within that department into software licensing. And this is for the project you approved on the last agenda for the digital signage project. I1M, this is General Fund for capital outlay. This is related to item F1 that you approved earlier this morning. And this is the cost related to the 2023 Chevy Silverado that will replace the constable's vehicle that was damaged.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, are there any questions on any of these?
Ken, I1J, the demolition project, tell me again when that start date's gonna be?
Well, we will issue the PO this afternoon or tomorrow, and I need their bonds.
Okay,
And so, and again, I'm sure they're waiting for that before they issue the bonds to us, but as soon as we get the bonds, they'll start. And I
Good.
think it only takes about less than 60 days to get it all down.
okay. I was just thinking about that parking situation over there, so,
Yes, sir.
okay, all right. Thank you.
Okay, is there any other questions? If not, is there a motion to approve I1B through I1M?
So move. Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, passed.
Then I2 is regarding the FY25 budget.
So I don't have anything additional today. I know we spoke about a lot of information yesterday at the retreat, but just to remind you, our next date on the calendar is July 1st. So we will get everything kicked off on that Monday, the first day of July.
All right, moving on to item J, we have nothing this week. Under item K, grant proposals. K1 is our ARPA discussion. We are still working with the city of Waco on the PACES. That discussion we had before with the Waco Foundation at the city county meeting. It is definitely ARPA eligible. We are just trying to get it into the right category and hopefully be able to classify that as a beneficiary. If for some reason we can't, I believe the court had said before, we're okay if looking at general fund dollars. Is that correct?
That was at the discussion that we thought this was an important thing to be involved in, and, ARPA, if it's handy, but nevertheless, it's so important that normally if ARPA wasn't around, we would immediately go to general fund dollars to, is that the way everybody understands it?
All right, we'll keep working to try to make it fit there, and if not, we'll bring back an agreement with the Waco Foundation and then look to the general fund. So, Kate, sorry, go ahead, Judge.
So have we communicated with them that we're gonna do it? It's just, they don't need to be worrying about where the money's coming from. That's our worry. They just need to know that it's gonna move forward. And I think I don't know if the city's committed, but I know they plan on it, from what I understand.
Yeah, and the city's still working on a form of an ARPA contract as well, and that's what we just need to meet and iron those details out. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Under K1A, approval of blanket orders for beneficiary and subrecipient agreements, we need to defer this again.
All right, I'll make a motion, we defer.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
K1B is regarding the professional services agreement with BKD Forvis, authorization of grant administration services invoice through April 2024. This invoice totals $1,939.88. It has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
I'll make a motion, we approve it.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
K2, regarding the Texas Community Development Block Grant Construction Agreement with No Dig Tech LLC, authorization of certificate of construction completion. This is for Elmont Sewer Improvements at Leroy Parkway. Ken?
Yes, sir. Again, this is a completion certificate that needs to be signed by the judge. We'll have a final payment of $168,523.16. But again, our engineers have signed on one side, so they're agreeing that the project is complete.
Okay. Any questions? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a motion second. Any discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Under item L, Department Office Specific Request, L1 is Road and Bridge Precinct 4, authorization of reimbursement for tire damage. Commissioner Perry?
Yes, thank you. On this particular incident, probably all the requests we get, half of them or more are never proven. We went out and looked. It was bad. And it was right on the shoulder of the road. So when I go out and we realize that it's probably something that had been there and we hadn't caught it yet, I encourage, well, I don't encourage, I like to pay those.
Okay.
If they don't, I did have one, he said he hit one on Chapel Road and it spun his car around and he was heading back the other direction by the time he got it. That was not, for sure. Went and looked at that one and that one wasn't there, but this is to the degree that I felt obligated to pay.
All right, so
Make a motion to approve.
second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Item L2, Information Technology. So there's 3 items here. I'll read them in. L2A is authorization of administrator access policy and related authorization request form. L2B is authorization of multi-factor authentication agreement. And L2C is ratification of destruction of technology equipment. John?
Yes, so that we have these policies. The first one, administrator access policy. This is really just coming into line with best practices and filling out our policy manual so that we have written guidelines. This falls in line with best practices in the IT field. It also protects our network with cybersecurity and also falls into line with the National Institute for Standards and Technology, which we're trying to fall into guidance with. This helps us with our cybersecurity insurance and other things. And it really just outlines when people need administrator access and provides a form, which is part of L2A, to request that access when necessary. And this just outlines the department guidelines of giving people administrative access to their machine that they use. L2B, which is the new form for multi-factor authentication. This form, again, is to increase our cybersecurity awareness and cybersecurity insurance. I believe it's FY26 will start increasing if we don't implement multi-factor authentication at the desktop. Most folks will be familiar as we moved with the Office, Microsoft Office, people are using multi-factor authentication to use that. Now this would require them to do it at the desktop to get into your machine. Again, making us more secure and falling into line with best practice security-wise. TAC also agrees with this sort of thing, so it helps with that as well. L2C is just ratification of destruction of equipment. We had I believe it was a Microsoft Surface that was bad out at the jail or the detention center, one or the other. We're already destroying hard drives a few weeks back or close to a month ago. So we went ahead and destroyed that because you cannot remove the hard drive. So we just need ratification of that destruction of equipment. All of these have been reviewed legally as well and are requested to be approved.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve. Second. Motion to approve L2BA, B, C, and
Is it?
Have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All right, any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
L3, Tax Office, designation of tax assessor collector as the primary voting delegate for the National Association of Counties annual business meeting. That annual business meeting is held on Monday, July 15th, and this designation needs to be returned by July 8th. Randy will be there, and if the court is willing, would have him participate as the primary voting delegate for McLennan County.
Okay, any questions or comments? All right, I'll make a motion, we approve that.
Second.
Motion been made and second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, pass.
Under item M, additional items for discussion and potential action. M1's discussion and or action regarding retired patrol vehicle requests from Mark Volunteer Fire Department. I heard from Captain Nixon, I know he's in court as well, but the Tahoes that are coming out of service are close to 200,000 miles or exceeding that, and just don't feel comfortable in having one of those vehicles being utilized for this purpose. So Judge, I don't know if we just want to pull this with no action, and then as we start to maybe change how we're rotating our fleet, put it back on the agenda, or if we want to keep it out there in front of us as we move forward.
Can I add something to
Yes, sir.
that? Ben received a request from the city of Golinda. They're wanting to start a police department there, and they requested a vehicle as well. But again, I visited with David Eyes, who visited with Sean, and again, the same answer there is they don't feel comfortable with any of the vehicles we have coming out of fleet.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to share that. I know that's not an item on the agenda, but again, it's the circumstance, not actually that request that I'm
Setting
bringing
precedent.
forward. Yeah.
Okay, so I would say pull with no action.
I'd like to pull it and leave it off until something comes up,
Yeah.
so it doesn't show up every month.
That's a good idea.
Will do. We can show it as pulled with no action. All right, moving on to item M2, selection designation of public members of the Salary Grievance Committee regarding the FY25 budget. Mercedes, is there anything else that needs to be done today?
No, we really don't have any update for today. We're still awaiting correspondence from the individuals whose names were drawn during our last regular session. So there's really no update for today.
And just as a reminder, at some point, we'll need to decide if we want to go with the 9-member public committee, or if we want to go back with the committee we used last year. It would take an affirmative vote to go back to the 9 members of the public committee. So just as a reminder, but this will stay on the agenda, and we can work towards that.
Thank you.
All right, M3 is authorization to host court night for the 104th Annual County Judges and Commissioners Association of Texas Conference, including authorization of letter of support. So this date would be in October of 2026, and it does coincide with the fair date, so it would be hard to host this at the base. Basically, we could do something late September or late October, but they're looking at the first or second week in October. So I don't know if we want to look at an alternate location for this.
I think we have to. I think we still want to host it. It's been working on it for a while. So I guess if it's okay with the court, let my office try to reach out to several venues that might be appropriate and, impressive, and come back to the court with that. So.
Judge, what's the deadline for us saying, yes, we want to host it? What, is there a deadline?
I
Do we have to
believe.
reply?
I think they need, so this is an open RFP right now that the city is responding to, and I believe they need it back. Yeah, please submit your proposal by September 5th, 2024.
Oh,
So we still have a little bit of
we've
time.
got some time then, okay.
But even if so, if we wanted to go ahead and approve this, I think we could, because like I say, it's just, they're responding to a request for a proposal, and then if we are selected, we could firm up a location at that time, or if the court first keep it deferred and we work on that on the front end, we can.
What's the pleasure of the court?
What's your preference, Judge? Which way do you want to go?
Well, I think we definitely want to do this. It's good for our community, and it's good for us to be a host to our peers out there. And it's been a while since we've done it, but it's a great event, and I think everybody looks forward to coming back here. And the Waco today is much different than the Waco back when we first started, so.
There's plenty of venues,
Yeah.
We'll find a venue.
Yeah.
Motion to approve a letter of support.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
M4 is McLennan County Group Employee Health Insurance Committee authorizations regarding committee member selection. And Judge Commissioner Jones, I don't know if y'all want to keep this deferred.
So when would they need to meet? Let's see, 24.
We're meeting Randy tomorrow. We're talking to Randy tomorrow, about,
This whole group is?
I don't think the whole
I
group.
don't think the whole group.
Any recommendations from our UHC annual plan review or that when you present to us tomorrow? That's what we would present to this committee.
Okay,
Okay, yeah.
So we don't have a set date.
all right. I'd like to,
Well, I was just gonna ask real quickly, is there any issues with attendance? Is everybody showing up, or you have someone that's not showing up?
This kind of is our core group that
Okay.
has been there, all the time.
So when you start getting around 9 or 10 people, that's a.
yeah, that's a big group. I'd make a motion we defer to the next meeting.
Okay.
till we can-
Second.
Motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those pass.
M5 is authorization of webpage requests for the McLennan County Law Library. The Law Library Committee had reached out and requested that we create a webpage for the Law Library on the McLennan County website. So we think this would be a good idea. So we just need court approval if court is in agreement.
All right, I'll make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
M6 is regarding the International Junior Brangus Breeders Association National Junior Brangus Show, recording of office of the governor's letter approving the event trust fund application and establishing the event trust fund. So as a reminder, back in December, the Wes and others came to the court for sending in this application for the creation of this events trust fund, and we've received notification that it has been approved. So the local share is $7,033. That is then submitted to the state, and it's matched for every dollar the county puts in, state puts in $6.25. So for a total of $50,987 that is available for this event. Then they go through an attendance certification, and then we can those funds can be drawn down at that time. So we just need a motion to accept this for recording.
And did you hear back from Wes Allison?
I did not, so I reached out to Wes this morning. I believe the fair was going to contribute that local share. It has to flow through the county, but in documents I pulled up this morning, it says any association can provide those. It just has to flow through the county. So if I remember correctly, I believe the fair was going to provide that share.
Yeah, and two points of clarification. One, this is state of Texas looking to share costs to bring in outside big national events. They're in competition with Florida and California, bringing outside folks into here for various events, so they'll pay for part of it. And then the second clarification is a Brangus is a bovine, in case you didn't know that.
That would be a cow?
It could be. There's several options. There's only actually two options. It could be a cow or a male, which could be a bull or steer.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, international
International's
sounds
big.
Sounds big.
Yeah, it's a
I
big
mean,
show. It's a big
okay,
show.
great. And it's 6 days. That's a long show.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a big show, yeah.
Great.
Takes a long time to get here from overseas. Bringing your Brangus with you.
Riding a bovine.
Riding a bovine.
Okay.
I tell you, Judge, anytime you get 6 times your dollar,
Yeah,
that's a
doing
good deal.
Yeah.
Good, good. All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
All right, motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
M7 is regarding the local provider participation fund, ratification of declaration of intent for intergovernmental transfer regarding the Medicaid managed care aligning technology by linking interoperable systems for client health outcomes program. Heather?
Yes, this is similar to the CHIRP commitment that we completed at the last court, and this is a ratification request for the Atlas program.
Okay. Any questions anyone have?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
M, M8, authorization of fixed asset transfer form for asset transfer from Department of Public Safety to purchasing. Ken?
Yes, we just wanted noted, record these transfer sheets. We received back 6 radars back from DPS. We'll have another transfer sheet that we'll have probably next court that's going to record that we're transferring from purchasing to the sheriff's office. We should have done it all one deal, but that didn't happen. So anyway, just wanted to make sure that they know that we got the radars back.
Okay, I'll make a motion we approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
Under item N, Americans with Disabilities Compliance Project, N1 is authorization of professional services invoice with CPNY doing business as STV. N1A is regarding the ADA study report for the month of April. It totals $96.75 and it's been reviewed and recommended for approval.
All right, I'll make a motion we approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
Under item N2 regarding the agreement with KDW Enterprises, William and Pazzi, doing business as the Key Depot, authorization of invoices. So there are 4 invoices here, I believe, N2A through N2D. TJ?
Yes, so these are the 4 invoices for the courthouse ADA project. This is equipment that was purchased by the Equipment Depot. So they're currently holding all this, or we've actually got it here in the shop. As most of you are aware, we're still trying to determine how we're going to approach the mortise lock bodies within the courthouse and get all that stuff figured out. So we've reviewed these. These are acceptable. We're ready for payment, and then we'll proceed forward with the modifications.
All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
All right, and that should take care of all the action items.
Okay. Anything else to come before the court today? If not, we stand adjourned.